the science of compost. Break it down to the ground.
Whoa! Look at that!
Science Club for Girls Life. Let's all take one deep dive into the world of science, technology, engineering, and math. Get your safety goggles, 'cause we're making things explode. Science is so fun, so let's take it on the road. Meet a young scientist just like you and learn all about what they do. We'll even learn science that's in the news through one-on-one interviews with SCMG Live and friends. Experimenting never ends. Now let's see what's in store. Just press play and get ready to explore. Ho, 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 hey, hey. Ho, 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 hey, hey.
Oh, hey there! I was just adding some dirt to this jar so I can grow a nice, big, beautiful flower for my garden.
Hannah, what are you doing? Are you going to grow a vegetable?
Very close, Sally, but I'm actually growing a flower for my garden.
Wow! I love flowers! They're so beautiful.
They sure are. Hey, Sally, do you know what flowers need to grow tall and healthy?
Well, I know they need lots of water, and I water my plants almost every day. Wow, those are some thirsty plants. Oh.
That's a great point. They definitely need water. They also need something called carbon dioxide.
Carbon dioxide? Wait, what's that?
Great question. Carbon dioxide is an air that we breathe out every time we take a breath out. Wait. Sally, what are you doing?
I'm breathing on the plants so I could get carbon dioxide.
Sally, that's so nice of you, but plants actually are able to get carbon dioxide from the air around them, so you don't need to breathe on them.
Whoa, plants are so smart.
They sure are. Also, Sally, there's one more thing that plants need.
What else?
Just like humans, plants need nutrients to grow tall and strong and healthy.
Well, I know humans get nutrients from food, but plants don't eat food. But where do they get their nutrients from?
Another great question. Plants get their nutrients from the soil around them. And we can also make very nutritious soil by doing something called composting.
Composting? What's that?
That's another awesome question. How about in today's episode, Sally, we take a closer look at compost and soil.
Oh, okay. I would totally love to learn because I want to make sure my plants are growing up nice and strong.
Yep, that's a great idea. Because the stronger the plants, the tastier the plants.
Yeah.
All right, let's take a look in today's episode.
Oh, let's go.
At first, you might think of soil as just yucky dirt. But actually, soil plays a really important role in our ecosystem. For example, plants rely on soil for nutrients and as a place to anchor and stick their roots in. Other animals, like fungi, worms, and bacteria, use soil as a place to live. In this experiment, my young scientist friend Eliana and I are going to explore the many layers of soil with something pretty tasty. Let's take a look. Hi, I'm Hannah, and I'm here with my friend
Eliana.
And we're gonna make dirt in a cup. Eliana, what do we need for this experiment?
So we need a cup, Oreos, pudding. We're using chocolate pudding because it's brown. Graham crackers, a napkin, a plate, a spoon, and Gummy Worms, and a Ziploc bag.
Perfect. All right, Eliana, are you ready to start?
Yes.
Me too. Okay, here's what we're gonna do first. We need to carefully open one of our pudding cups. How did it taste?
Good.
So we're gonna scoop a layer of pudding at the bottom of our cup. Yum. Perfect. This layer is gonna represent what's called the subsoil. Subsoil. All right, now it's time to take our Oreos or chocolate cookies and make the next layer. So take 3 Oreos and put them in your Ziploc bag. Whoop. And then zip the bag shut.
I'm still getting mine since they don't want to come out.
No worries, take your time.
But I got one.
Perfect. Seal your bag nice and tight so no Oreos leak out of the bag.
Okay.
Now for the fun part. You can either do it on a table or just in the air. You're gonna crush your Oreos up.
Okay.
You have to push down pretty hard. There you go.
And a blueberry.
Once they look like small rocks, you're good to go.
Okay.
Cool. Now we're gonna take our spoon. You can use the clear spoon if you want, the clean one.
And use a clean spoon?
Yeah, put it on the clean spoon, or you can just, you know what? Do this, Eliana. Just eat your pudding spoon.
Okay.
Okay. Now take a scoop of your Oreos and place them on top of your pudding. Yeah, this is so chocolatey.
Yep.
And then hold it up to the camera once you're done. Nice! So now it's time for the next layer, which is the graham crackers. So take 1 graham cracker.
Big one?
Start with a small one. I think a small one should be enough. And crumble it on top of your Oreos in your cup. I might need 1 more graham cracker. What do you think?
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe do the other half of the graham cracker.
I did it.
Perfect. Let me see. Oh, that looks awesome. Nice. All right. So now we have the subsoil and we have our topsoil. That's the graham cracker layer.
Okay.
On the top of this, we're gonna add 1 more layer of the cookie crumbles. Do you have any Oreos left?
Yeah, I have a lot.
Okay, add a few more cookie crumbles to the top. This is messy. Oh, you're smart. Do you have a napkin? I should have grabbed a napkin.
I do.
That's smart.
Okay, I did the layer.
Perfect. All right, so now we have our subsoil, our topsoil, and then this layer at the very top is called the humus. Kind of cool. And then the best part, you add a gummy worm on top. So you can add a couple if you want.
Okay.
Gummy worms are actually really helpful because they're called decomposers, which means that they break down things like food scraps or leaves, and they make it like plants really want those nutrients. So gummy worms are really helpful, actually. Not real gummy worms, but real worms are helpful.
Yeah.
All right, how's it looking?
Good.
Nice. All right, now before we dig in, let's go through each layer together. So hold your cup up and we'll point to each layer. So the bottom is called the subsoil, and that's represented by the pudding. And this layer is made up of clay and iron and other dead things like dead plants and dead animals. The next layer is called the topsoil, and that's kind of like these cookie crumbles here. And that is made up of also organic material like old dead things, minerals, and this is also where most of our organisms live. So that's usually where you'll find the worms and the bugs and the plant roots are right here at the top. And at the very top is the humus, and that's represented by the Oreo cookie crumbles. And that's where you'll find things like leaves and rocks and twigs, all those things that you were talking about earlier. And then we have our gummy worms. All right, should we dig in and see how tasty our soil is? Yeah. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Are you trying to get every layer?
Yeah.
Oh. All right, here we go. Oh my gosh. You got worms in your mouth, Eliana. Tasty? 10 out of 10? Do you think actual soil would taste like this?
No.
No way. What if all the soil in the world tasted like this?
That would be delicious.
It'd be amazing. I think we'd all have tummy aches forever. Probably. All right, Eliana, this was awesome. Thank you so much for being in the show with me. This was great. Enjoy your tasty snack.
Okay.
Sounds good. Bye, Eliana.
Bye.
Hey, Francesca.
Oh, hey, Hannah, what's up?
Not much. Do you know what recycling is?
Yeah, I recycle cardboard and plastic all the time at home.
Oh, that's awesome. But did you know that you can also recycle food?
No way. Wait, what is that?
It's called composting. Composting is an easy way to turn waste into usable material. And what's really cool is when we add compost, like twigs and leaves and food scraps, to soil, it actually improves the soil and makes it more nutrient dense, nutritious, for our plants and vegetables and fruits.
So that can make the plants so much stronger because they have so many more nutrients.
For sure. Should we make our own compost?
Is it easy?
It's super easy, and everyone at home follow along.
Oh, okay, let's do it.
For this experiment, to make your composter, you're gonna need a wide-mouthed jar with a lid, some dirt, also have a bag of dirt here, some water, some twigs and other scraps from outside like leaves, and permanent marker, and some food scraps from your kitchen or dinner plate. You can also compost things like paper towels or newspapers. All right, to get started, toss a handful of dirt into your wide-mouthed jar, like this. Next, it's time to add in our newspaper or paper towel scraps. Do you want to go ahead and rip that up for me, Francesca?
Yep.
Awesome work. Nice. After this, you can add in your food scraps.
Hannah, I have a plastic bag for my lunch. Can I add that in too?
That's a great question, Francesca. Unfortunately, we can't add in our plastic bag because it's not biodegradable.
Biodegradable? Wait, what does that mean?
Well, biodegradable means that something can break down into really, really small, harmless parts, like super, super small, with the help of some friends like bacteria and worms and other decomposers. Some examples of biodegradable things are fruits, vegetables, grass, and even human fingernail clippings.
Whoa!
All of these things you might notice come from or came from a living thing.
Oh, okay, so I get it. I could compost anything that is made up of like a living thing, and then with the help of bacteria and all our decomposers, they will break down the material.
Exactly.
Oh, okay, I get it.
Yep, so things that are not biodegradable do not come from living things, like plastic cups, plastic bottles, styrofoam cups. All of those things are unfortunately not biodegradable.
I'll stick to the recycling can for those.
I think that's a good idea. Okay, next, after our food scraps and after our dirt and our newspaper or paper towels, we're gonna add in a layer of scraps that we found outside in nature. Things like leaves and twigs. We can go ahead and put that right on top. Nice. Awesome. Now we have nice even layers, or somewhat even layers, in our composter. The last step is to add some water. Now you can get water either from outside, you can collect it from the rain, or you can also get water from the tap. Just a little bit, okay?
Whoops.
Okay, last part is to put our lid on top of our composter. You'll want to ask an adult to poke some holes in the lid to allow for oxygen to get through. Awesome, screw it on nice and tight. Okay, now it's time to mark your composter with your permanent marker. Make a mark at the top of all of your jumbled ingredients. We'll see where our jumbled ingredients are after a few weeks to see if our items are breaking down. Nice. Okay, next, place your composter in a sunny windowsill, somewhere that gets a lot of sunlight but is also out of reach. And unfortunately, we will have to wait for a few weeks. However, if you have other food scraps that come along from your breakfast, lunches, dinners, or snacks, you can still add those into your composter on the way.
Right. This is awesome, Hannah. That was super easy. I can't wait to see what happens in a couple of weeks.
Yep, and it's a great way to recycle our food scraps.
All right, awesome. So I'll see you in a couple of weeks then.
Yes, definitely. We'll check in then.
All right, young scientists, it's been like 3 weeks since we started our composting. Let's see if it's gone down at all. Do you see that?
Whoa! Francesca, I can barely see the watermelon rind that we originally put in.
I know, it's decomposing in here.
Look at our original line. Originally, our compost was all the way up to here, and now it's all the way down here.
That's crazy. Hannah, what's happening in here?
Well, something super cool is happening in that in our compost, there's teeny tiny bacteria that are helping to break down all of our ingredients and in the process, releasing really helpful nutrients into the soil. And we could actually use the soil and those nutrients to help plants in our garden grow tall and strong.
Wow, this is awesome. I'm gonna start composting at home. Young scientists, if you start composting at home, make sure you send us a picture or video of your compost so that we can feature it on our next episode. I think everyone should compost.
I think so too, because instead of all this going into the trash, it's going into our gardens to help our plants grow nice and strong.
Awesome. Thanks, young scientist.
Hello everyone, my name is Ollie and I'm a junior mentor with Science Club for Girls, and I wanted to show anyone who's watching what I've been working on recently, which is a biocomposter or biodigester. So what this sort of machine does is it'll take your compost goods, so like any sort of banana peels, old tomatoes, things like that. You can throw those in here, and it'll compost a lot faster than the normal compost rate, so you get your compost faster.
How do you make a biocomposter?
So the main things that I used to make this were a 3D printer to make this lid. If you want to make one yourself, you don't need a 3D printer. If you have like a bucket or anything like that that already has a lid, you can just use that. But nevertheless, 3D printer, some hinges that I glued and screwed down here, a motor with some gears attached, and if you look inside, we have a PVC pipe that's attached to one of the gears with a bolt that you can't see, and some scissors at the bottom that I had to attach with a lot of glue and strong tape because I did not have just regular blades.
How does the biocomposter work?
So the way this thing works is I'll turn on the motor by just flipping the switch down there. So let me just turn that on. And if you can look at the top of the biodigester, you can see that this gear is very slowly turning. And if we look inside, we see the blades are just regular scissors spinning around. So what this will do is it'll move the food around that's in here and chop it up very slowly so that it'll compost faster.
Why should we use a biocomposter?
So the whole point of making this thing and of composting anyway is to just continue the natural cycle of the earth. So in nature, when plants die or when fruit falls from trees to the ground, what happens is they'll biodegrade into the earth. So worms will eat the leftover food, fungi will sort of digest it for the planet, and then those nutrients from those foods will be reintegrated into things that grow, like the grass or trees or things like that, and then other animals can use those nutrients. So the problem now is that a lot of those nutrients, like from our banana peels or the things we throw in the garbage, don't get back to the soil. They end up in landfills where, they can't biodegrade because there aren't any worms there, there's no fungi there. So what happens instead is that they release CO2 or carbon dioxide into the atmosphere and contribute to climate change and pollution, which is very bad. So, this will help continue the natural cycle of the earth by making compost, which you can throw in a garden, in any small plot of land outside, or just in potted plants in your homes. So I hope you all will consider composting. Thank you.
Wow, we learned so much today. We learned so much about dirt. I thought dirt was a yucky brown thing. Yuck. But they have so many parts to them. that it makes it so important for life here on Earth.
Those are great points, Sally. We also learned how to make our soil nutritious and to reduce our waste by composting. Well, thanks, Sally, for joining us to learn more about compost and soil. I hope all of you young scientists out there learned something too, and maybe you can even start your own compost bin at home.
Yeah, that's so exciting. Show us your compost bins, young scientists.
Definitely. Well, thanks for joining us. We'll see you again for another episode of SCFG Live. Bye, everyone. This episode of SCFG Live has been brought to you by National Grid, who supports Science Club for Girls' mission in making STEM exciting and accessible to all. Both National Grid and Science Club for Girls support women in STEM and are working towards making STEM more diverse, equitable, and inclusive.